Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another Pick a Card with Scatter Love Tarot. Today we are going over the topic on what is it about you that drives them wild. I don't know, I just thought this would be a fun one to see what comes out. You know, these are always just fun. We're always curious. We want to know what's going on, right? We're nosy. It's cool. It's a human thing, right? So, anyways, with that being said, I just want to say thank you so much to every one of you that has chosen to join this tribe. I'm so honored to be in this space. I'm so honored to connect with you in this way, to get a touch of your energy and to understand some of the lives that you have lived. It is just such an honor and a blessing, and it is so intimate in this way. Even if it doesn't seem like it, just understanding, for me, this is a very intimate connection with you as a person, and I'm just so honored that you allow me to connect with you in this way and to connect with you along these readings, to give you these messages that are coming through. With that being said, if you are new here, welcome. With the reminder here that we are all human, we are welcoming you with open arms to this tribe, asking you to come exactly as you are in this moment. There's no judgment here. There's no there's no anger at one another here. We are all here on this journey together, trying to live as humans, to understand what it is. And I'm going to tell you all a secret. No one really has it all figured out, right? We just kind of bump and stumble along as we go. Well, awesome. So welcome. And if you choose to comment, subscribe, and like the video, know that that does allow me an opportunity to connect with you on a deeper level, to get you out more resonant readings. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into our prayers so we can get your reading started. So let me get this lit up here. And I do just want to say thank you while this is burning a little bit here. I want to say thank you for everybody's patience. You know, my videos haven't been quite as consistent. That is going to change here. I am finally getting into a spot where I'm going to be settled. And so it has been a long month, but I appreciate everyone that's been here. So let's get this prayer going, guys. My beloved source, this is for any and everyone that comes onto this video, whether it's for the entire time or for just a moment. This prayer is to ask you to place them within your loving embrace, to reach them, right? For so long, some of us really feel like we don't feel anything, right? We don't feel love. We don't feel grace. We don't feel like we belong. And the truth of the matter is that you say that we are loved. You say that we are held. You say that we are strong. You say that we are gifted with power beyond our understanding. And for those that are struggling in this moment's time, I ask that you bring this courage, this knowledge, this strength, this wisdom of your love to their hearts in this now moment. Whether that's through a stranger, through a prayer, through a synchronicity, through a smile, through a hug, through a kiss, through an animal, through nature, whatever it is, I ask that you bring that to them and they can understand and connect on a soul level with this innate, unconditional love that resides in each and every one of us. And let go of the fear that we're not enough, and let go of the fear that we don't belong, and instead embrace that we are beings of love. And because we are beings of love, that is the only reason that exists for us to belong. As these words are spoken unto this space, unto these people, unto my fellow humans and this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho, ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. Wow, I can feel your hearts right now. That's why I love doing these prayers. Like, you may think that I do these prayers for you. And in truth, I do these prayers because Source asks me to. And in that, being able to step forward and do what it is that we're asked to by this benevolent power, this omnipotent being that is there, it fills us with so much joy and love and enlightenment. And so just know that I love you all so much that I will come forth and do as Source asks me for you, because Source is unconditional love towards each and every one of you. Source said, I choose you to live in this life. So, all right, rant over. So with this particular reading, why not bring out the Rebel deck, right? So we need to get some Sacred Rebel Oracles out to choose from. This is absolutely one of my most favorite decks. It will always forever be one of my most favorite decks because the artwork in this is so intricate and beautiful. So Source, for pile number 1, what Oracle card will help us understand what drives this person on their mind wild about them? Perfect. Thank you, Source. For pile number 2, Source, what Oracle card will help us understand what drives this person on their mind wild about pile number 2? Whoa. Okay, they want that one. Thank you, Source. And for pile number 3, Source, what card will help us understand what is it that drives them wild about the person on their mind about pile 3? Thank you very much, Source. We have going beyond normal on the bottom of the deck with number 14 or 5. There's a light bulb here. Some of y'all are setting off some, hey, I'm supposed to be around this person. I'm supposed to be in this person's life. Okay, just a little message before we get going. So for pile 1, we have this beautiful moonstone for you to choose from. Okay. For pile number 2, we're bringing on the green aventurine. Okay. And for pile number 3, that tiger's eye. Such a powerful stone. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever one you resonate with, that should be the pile for you. Keep in mind they are general readings, so it may not resonate with everyone, but do take what resonates and just leave the rest. That means it was for someone else, okay? And with that being said, my fellow humans, whichever pile you have chosen, I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow humans. I chose pile number 1. If you were drawn to this moonstone or to this oracle during the shuffle, this is your reading on what is it about you that drives this person wild. So we will check this out at the end. I do have your dice ready here. We will go ahead and draw from them first and get some energies out on the reading. However, before we get started, a couple things here. I do have a channeled message for you before we get into that, though. I do want to let you know that because these are general readings, take what resonates and leave what does not, right? And knowing that as you like, you comment, you subscribe to the channel, set that notification bell, it allows me an opportunity to connect with your energy more intimately and get you out more resonant readings. And thank you, just thank you for being here. I'm so honored to be sharing this gift with you, to be sharing this love of Source with you. It is such a blessing to be here. So pile 1, your channeled message is, I cannot make this up. I had the song, it came on right when I started your video. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and that may be. Let's talk about sex. I actually don't know the words that go there, but that's what I was saying. That song is coming in so strong right now. So this person is driven wild by your sex appeal. That's just a general message coming through right off the bat. They're very turned on by you. They're very attracted to you. You are on this person's mind like 24/7, just rolling around in there. They're thinking of all the things that they can do to you. One of these days I will do an 18+ reading. Don't you worry your pretty little heads on it, but that's not today. So we're going to try and keep this as PG-13 as we can. We may get a little R-rated, okay? So Y'all 18 and up, you should be. If you're not, these are for 18 and up anyways. I try to make my videos as such. But yes, this person is very attracted to your body, to your physical being, to your soul, to your mind, to your heart, to who you are. It's not just about your body. It's like you as a whole package turns them on. Like they see you walking down the street and they're like, what do we... Ooh, what diddy diddy dum diddy do? Like, she looks good, she looks fine. Like, oh my gosh, who sings that song? Help me out, okay? Let me know, comment down below. I actually don't know who sings that song, but it was coming in really strong right now. I am so giddy on your pile. I am so giddy. You make this person smile from ear to ear. So what drives them crazy about you is they can't get you out of their head. They try not to think about you, but they'll be watching TV and something on TV will come up and they'll be thinking about pile one. They're like, pile one, and then they start daydreaming about you and they go off on all these things that they're gonna do. And I feel like this person is scared or intimidated to say something because they've never felt this way about someone. Like, I am breathless. I'm just like, whoa. Yeah, so you take their breath away. All right, let's get into the dice, guys. Let's see what's going on here. So for pile one, source, what is it about pile one that drives this person on their mind wild? What is it about pile one that drives them wild, source? What can you tell us? What can you let us know? Alright, so we've got 8th house, Venus, and Virgo. They want to ground something with you in reality. Like, they want to be in your deep, darkest reservoir, okay? No, I'm not trying to be a cochina over here, okay? But seriously, this is great. We've got 8th house, which talks about sexual energy, right? Prowess, like this energy of strength and power, but that's very secretive and seductive, okay, and very transformative. So if you haven't slept with them, they imagine that sleeping with you is going to be like next level, and that drives them wild because it's almost like tasting forbidden fruit with you. Okay, like it's like they think of you pile one and they're like, oh, pile one is my forbidden fruit. Like, I want it, but I can't have it, right? Like, so they may be committed, and commitment doesn't necessarily have to mean another person. Commitment could be a job, it could be saving, it could be buying a house, it could be getting their feet on the ground, right? So just understanding that this doesn't necessarily mean that they have a significant other or that they're committed. In some cases, yes, that will be the case. However, understanding that commitment or being really in a state of not being able to come forward, it's like this energy that I'm getting of, I want to offer pile one everything. I want to have the world for them. I want to lay the moon, the stars, and the sun at their feet. Like, I just want to offer this, right? So what is it about you that drives them wild? Like, you are this person that is so beautiful. You're so sexy. You're so just intriguing in every sense of the word, right? Alluring, seductive, and sensual, and like, I'm sweating here, guys, okay? Woo! Alright, let's calm down. Bring it down a notch, okay? But at the same time, what they can't get enough of is that you're so modest and humble. It's almost like you don't realize how gorgeous you are. You don't realize how handsome you are. Or maybe you do, but you just don't, you don't use that over people like, oh, I'm the hottest person in the room, like, you all better, put me on a pedestal. Like, you're not like that. You're someone who go up to another person if they're like a loner in the room, or they're not getting attention from anybody, and you're going to sit down with them and find out more about them. You're going to connect with them. You're going to be like, hey, I noticed you're over here by yourself. Like, let's have a conversation. You want some tea? Let's get some tea. Or you want some coffee? Let's get some coffee. Like, let's hang out. No one deserves to be alone. Like, you have this very worldly view about you, right? And yet at the same time, it's like seeing that what really drives them wild in the sense is that everybody is attracted to you. It's like they're hyper aware of the people who are attracted to you. Like, so whoever's approaching you, it's like they're on blast on trying to figure out, okay, is that person trying to get with pile one? Is that person trying to get with pile one? Are they flirting with pile one? Oh, are they giving eyes at pile one? Oh, I see their googly eyes over there for pile one. And that drives them wild because it's like they've never been this hyper vigilant or hyper aware at who's sliding into your DMs, right? They're not checking your Facebook or anything like that. Or maybe they are, like, trying to see who's liking it. And then, like, if someone that they know you might be interested in likes your page, or they like your posts or whatever, or they comment on your post, like, this is someone who stalks that person, and this drives them wild because they don't understand what this connection is. They don't understand why they feel this way. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put the dice. This should be good. And yeah, it's very secretive. So I don't feel like they've come forward yet. For some, yes, this person has. But for a majority, this is someone who has not come forward just yet. Hasn't said much. Hasn't been like, oh, hey, guess what, pile one? Like, you and me, let's do the dance with no pants, y'all. Like, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Right? Why do I also hear that song? Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. Like, they want everything with you. They want it sensual. They want it homey. They want a family. They want it everything with you, pile one. So this person's in it. You might actually hear messages from them in music. I'm just getting music for you like crazy right now. Okay, so for pile one source, what is it about pile one that drives this person wild? Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. Seriously, this song right now. Usually once I sing it, it goes away, but that's, so they're, okay, I understand. Thank you, source. So they want you, if you have a chance, to check out the lyrics to that song, because there may be a resonant message that is building on what this message is going to be today. Okay? So, what is it about pile one that drives this person crazy? Yeah, that they want everything stable with you. They want to manifest a relationship with you. They want to manifest potential jobs, potential financial abundance with you, like maybe build a business with you. Like, they want you and them to touch everything together. No, I'm not trying to be dirty, pile one. Bring it back. Y'all have a dirty mind over there, okay? No, but they do. They want to get involved in everything with you. Okay. So what is it about pile one that drives them crazy? We got double threes in the reverse here. Look, and justice in the reverse. Are you with someone, pile one? Are you connected to someone? Look at, like, this is the thing. It's like, here you have the Three of Coins, which is talking about a breakup or a dissolution of a partnership or something falling apart or something that's being ripped apart, right? Okay, so there's a story that just came in that's saying that you may be with an abusive partner currently, or you may be with someone who's not treating you to your full potential. And they're not, like, they don't treat you right, they don't treat you good, like it's like, you know, there's this energy coming through, and it drives them wild because they know they don't have a space to say anything, right? And they also don't want to be someone that's, like, judged for saying something, and then it comes back, and that maybe they've treated you the same way in the past, right? So it's like, if you have had a relationship with them, or if you have had a connection with them and they walked out, or they ghosted you, or they weren't who they said they were, right? Now they know that there's nothing that they can do to come in and, like, right the wrong that was done here, Okay? And it doesn't necessarily have to be you being in a connection. It's just that whatever you've gone through in your life, it's like they feel like they can't come in and say anything. And so it drives them like wild. It drives them crazy that they feel this way about you, but they also feel like they have no say in the matter, because it's almost this energy like, if I came through to you, pile one, and if I said something to you, pile one, you're going to be like, whoa, this is out of left court. Why are you saying this? And it's not necessarily that you would say that. It's just that they really feel like that's how it would be. It's almost like maybe you in the past, if you haven't connected with them like that, maybe you expressed an interest in them. And they just dusted it under the table, under the rug. They were like, no, like, I'm not interested in that. I got all these other things going on here. And it's like now, it's almost like the tables have turned and they're coming back in. And them saying anything, it'd be like, they're almost fearful of what you would say. And so it drives them wild that they have all these ridiculous fantasies about you, right? And sometimes, like, I feel like this is someone who has wet dreams over you, okay? Like, that's how serious this is. Like, you're always on their mind in a very sexual sense. And it's like, has nothing to do with your body. This has everything to do with your entire person. It's like they're connected sexually to your mind, to your body, to your spirit, to your heart. Like everything about you turns them on, okay? So it's not just, this isn't someone who's shallow. That's not the energy that I'm getting here. This is someone who actually has quite a bit of depth to them, and they're just didn't realize the gift that was standing in front of them was you. And so it drives them wild that now they're put in a position where they either have to eat their own words or their own actions or say nothing. And right now saying nothing is kind of what's winning out over here, right? And so this is interesting. Let me get a clarifying card here from this deck. May I please have a clarifying card for this, source? Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we have temperance here, right? Look at this fish. They're sleeping on it. What was I just saying? Like, they have dreams about you. Like, this is someone who dreams about you. They daydream about you. They have night dreams about you. Sometimes they have nightmares about you. It's like when you are, what is it when they say, I wake up and you're the first person I think about. When I go to bed, you're the last person I think about. That's you. And it drives them wild because they don't understand why they have this connection to you. They just don't get it. They're in this place of trying to learn how to balance out this energy. But right now, there's no balancing it out. And that's what's driving them wild, because it's almost like this innate knowing in their heart that if they balanced it out, that then they could come forward and they would be okay with whatever you said, right? Yeah, but right now, they're just happy blending in and being basically a fly on the wall. Look at this. Look at this image that's coming out here. It's like watching her read and blending into the wall. She's not even aware that they're there, right? So you may know exactly who this is in some cases, and in others, you may not even know who this person is. Like, you may have an idea, but it might not be exactly who you're thinking of, right? This is someone who goes to great lengths to hide themselves from your knowing. And it's not to say anything against you, your intuition, or anything like that. It's just that source is showing me that there are some that you actually are not aware of who this person is. Because it's been so long. Because it's been a long time. Like, that's what I keep hearing. This like this a long time. But it's just interesting because you have this energy of them wanting to complete this cycle, wanting to take action at some way, shape, or form, but fearing the need to start over, fearing this need that, like, I'm going to have to start from the bottom and go up from this situation. There is some that this may resonate. This is a very specific message that's coming through, but maybe you got sick and you just asked this person to be a friend and they disappeared because you were sick. They weren't around you, and now that's coming back around to them, where it's like the most important people in their life are experiencing the same thing, where they're getting sick and they have to actually stay in certain circumstances now. It's like they have to face that fear. That is a very specific message, okay? Like, But the thing is they can't find balance. Like, they're just always in a daze. They're always in this place of not really being able to connect, not even with their intuition. There's like, you're this pure being in their life, and that's what's driving them wild, is it's like they feel like you're the angel and they're the devil. And they're scared. They're so scared to come through. They're like they tried to control the situation at one point, and now because their control of the situation, it's like it sent it in the direction that it did, and now they're just scared. It's like, what? I have to actually come forth and be vulnerable to pile one. And that drives them wild too, because again, it's this energy of like, now I have to eat my words. Now I have to actually deal with that. And they want something that's very prosperous and beautiful with you, right? Like something that is equal give and take, but it's like that means that they have to open mouth and insert foot, is what my mom always used to say. It's like, if you are going to say something, make sure you can stand by what you say for all of time. And it's like just this energy of being honorable and integrable with your words. Like, if it's something that you know you might go back on in 10 years, don't say it. You know, we can't always know that. But it's like they really believed that they were going to be able to act the way that they acted. And now they have to open their mouth and insert foot. And that's a human thing too, pile one. Like, we've all done that. I know I'm guilty of it. I'm sure you're guilty of it. Like, it's just something that we've all done, right? And now they're just coming this face-to-face reality of, wow, like I really did a number on pile one. But it drives them wild, because it's almost like the minute that you left their life, they can't get you out of their mind. And I mean, it's like they may go lay with someone else, okay? And it just isn't satisfactory. There's just nothing about it that satisfies them. They're just like, oh, well, that was okay. It's, you know how when like you go and you expect to get off, okay? Like I'm really trying to keep this PG-13 because I don't want this to be a dirty reading. But it's like when you go to get off and it's like nothing ever, it's like you just keep getting there and you get so close and you get so close and you get so close, and then for some reason it just dissipates. Right? I feel like everybody knows what that is, whether that's with somebody or self-pleasure, whatever it is. But have you ever gotten to that edge point where you're like, oh, it's finally here, and you are like, oh, it's finally here, and then it just fizzles out? Like, that's exactly how this person feels every time they're with another person. The only time that they have anything that's of significance is when they're dreaming or daydreaming about you. Like, we have Pluto with transform on the bottom. Like, you have changed their life in a very deep way. And they didn't understand what was going on between the two of you. And it drives them wild that they treated you the way that they did. That you are who you are. That you have this amazing being, you know, this amazing light. That you are this amazing, incredible being. And it's like, this is just someone who's kicking themselves in the rear end. Like, we have new moon and promise. Like, that's exactly what drives them wild. It's like, I could have already had this connection with pile one. We could have already been here. We could have already experienced what it is now that I have to, like, basically say I'm sorry for. And this is a very proud person. Whoever this is, they're extremely proud. They do not like to admit their faults. Okay, they have a very delicate ego. Okay, and this is someone who they don't want to admit that they're wrong, because they feel like if they came to you, pile one, and admitted that they were wrong, they feel like you would then have even more power over them, even more than what you already have. And that's another thing that scares them, because they don't like losing control, right? Why do I hear that song? Music make you lose control. That's the song I hear right now. Okay, so anyways, they don't want to lose control here. And they already feel like they have. Like, there's, like, not a winning situation here with them. Like, this is just a test of time. Honestly, pile one, this is just a test of time. What's going to win out? Their desire to have you or their ego? And eventually the ego must be faced. And that's just part of this journey. Look, Pisces, intimacy, intuition, and compassion. These are the things that they're learning. Not physical intimacy here. There's a difference. It's like you have touched them on their soul. Right? No one has ever looked into their eyes and understood who they are. And this drives them wild because you looked into their eyes and you're like, knew everything about them, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, but you never used that as a judgment against them. Like, you basically were just like, look, I see you and I still love you and I care about you. And it's like they just couldn't understand because there's so many people who judge them, and that drives them wild. Why? It's like this question, why is it pile one? It's like, it's not that they want it to be anyone else, but they can't wrap their head around the fact that it's you, pile one, because it's almost like you're a pure being, like you're this pure soul, you're this pure spirit, and it's like I was saying, like you're the angel and they're the devil, right? Yeah, Dreamtime Creation. And this is interesting. This is the Pisces card in my deck, okay? I equate this to Piscean energy because it's like dreaming your life into reality, right? You have this guy here. He's an Aborigine who's singing the whole world into existence through his didgeridoo. And this is very Piscean energy. It's like creating everything based on these ideas that are coming to you from source through your third eye. And so you may not understand this just yet, but what's going on with this person through these thoughts that they're having of you, they're being awoken to their third eye. You actually had a part in that. You helped them awaken to this deep connection that you've had. You've spent many lives together. Okay, and even if you don't believe in reincarnation, that's okay. It's just literally there's a connection between the two of you that is indescribable, right? Like, and then we have number 3 here. And 3 for me is a number of creation. Your guides are with you. You are in this beautiful place. It says back to what you love. Reevaluate your desires. This is what's driving them wild, because what they thought life was, you came in and you cracked the world of their existence. Like, you just took a hammer and you smacked it. You maybe even just tapped it like doink. And it like started like staring. Okay, it started to shatter. And when it started to shatter and fell apart, like they were left with the only thing that was there, and that was them and their ego. And that's why they're so scared here. This person could very well be going through a dark night of the soul, or they have just recently gotten out of it, or they're in the depths of it. But it's because now it drives them wild that their third eye is opening and they're realizing, what do I actually desire? And it's like there's only one answer: you. And 16 with responsibility and meerkat. Yeah, they saw everything in black and white. Like, it was one way. It had to be this way. It had to go this way. It had to do this. Everything had to be like this. Like, this is someone who sees life as you go to college, and when you leave college, you get a 9-to-5 and you pay off your bills, you get a house, you marry, you have 3 kids, you get a white picket fence, you go to Starbucks on the weekends, you go camping in the summer, like, but it's always the same routine. And if that's not where you're at, it's completely different. It's those same things. It's like whatever the society around you believes is routine, this is what they thought and they saw. And it was like everything around them was so much like A goes to B, B goes to C, C goes to D, D goes to E, and then it like went like this. But when you came in, you presented the alphabet in an entirely new language and in an entirely different order. And they were like, whoa, hold on, whoa, no, I can't, because I have too many other responsibilities where people are relying on me to be this individual that I'm not necessarily, right? And it drives them wild because it's like no one else has impacted their life the way that you did. And yet you came in and you basically threw the paintbrush at their canvas and created a mess. Okay? But when what they thought at first was a mess, they turn around and they see the beauty in it. And that's what's going on here. So let's take a look at what your Rebel card is and see what it is about you that drives them wild. Look, we have number 26. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. I love this. It's like you showed them the light. Like, just by being you, you brought the light into their life. And this drives them wild because you're one of a kind. Okay, pile one? You're one of a kind. To meet someone like you in this lifetime is rare. Okay, and they met you. And now there's no going back. You know, it's like ignorance is bliss. Then you know, and then you know, right? And once you know, it gets difficult because you can't go back to being ignorant, and that's the problem. They were happy living the life that they were living. And now they know. And they know there's something better. They know there's more. So we have, Dear Sacred Rebel, this moment in your life requires great courage. Fortunately, you possess that in bucket loads. And we have buckets of paint here. Yeah, you came in and painted this person's life. You're being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of known reality into the next level of higher voltage reality. Higher voltage reality requires more absolute trust and a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe so that life can happen to us, through us, and with us, more quickly, more radically, more beautifully, and more boldly. You are now being invited into this new reality where things happen quickly and according to bold, loving optimism. This is a reality, not only a potential, but a manifestation and of the great big cosmic yes. To access this reality, you have to leap from known waters, and others may think you are crazy for doing so. What was I just saying? That responsibility that they have to this societal belief, and now they're reevaluating everything, and they're having to take this leap of faith, right? You have to leave behind the dark, weighty grip of hesitation, procrastination, second guessing, and the belief that you have to do everything on your own. You may fear for life. How will you be safe in the wild electric pulse of so much aliveness? And how will you function without the hazy, sleep-inducing paralysis of playing it safe, taking too long, and placing lesser priorities above your sacred art of life? How will you hold yourself back if you don't hold on to fear? You do not need to worry about such things. Life is wild, but it is also wise. It is a force of startling, raw awakening at times, but it also the natural process of evolution where all things mature according to a seasonal cycle. In right timing, you are a part of, not apart from that process. And that's what they're realizing at this time. They're realizing that you brought in this realization. They're realizing that you brought in this realization to them of how things are. You know, the things that they thought didn't matter are actually the things that do matter. And now that they've seen that with their own eyes and they felt that within their own energy, they can't go back to saying, oh, I'm happy living life like society wants me, because in truth they never were happy living like that. You showed them the truth of life, and now they want to taste that. Right? And so they're clearing out karmic cycles with this card here, 26, which is 8. 8 is the number of karma. It is also the number of abundance. We started with 8. We're ending on 8. So just understanding what drives them wild right now is that you brought in a spiritual awakening to them, and they're having to face themselves. And if you've been there, you know that's not a pretty place. But at the same time, the only person that they can think about right now is you. Every sense of the word, it comes to, what are my desires? It's pile 1. It's pile 1. It's pile 1. And this drives them wild because they never felt this way about anyone in their life before. This is what I have for you, pile 1. I loved it. I hope it resonates. If it does, leave me a thumbs up down below. With that being said, though, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow humans that chose the green aventurine, or if this resonated with you, or if this card resonated with you during the choosing at the beginning of the video. This will be your reading on what is it about you that drives them wild. I ask that you keep an open mind. These have kind of been, so far, interesting. Very interesting. So, with that being said, take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that these are general readings, right? And also that if you comment, if you like, if you subscribe to the channel and set that notification bell, it does allow me an opportunity to intimately connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. So with that, we are going to go ahead and ask the dice first, but I did have a channeled message for you before we started. So one thing that drives this person wild about you is that you are abundant. They feel like, if you're not, it's okay. Just remember, this is where they feel at. This is their emotions and what they're dealing with, right? They feel like you're extremely abundant, that you're financially well off, that you have everything in your ducks in a row, that you're unobtainable, that you are like leagues above them, right? Like out of my league is what I keep hearing. And that you are so sexy, like whatever it is, and that you have a sex appeal that just drives them wild, right? Like they are very much attracted to you sexually. They are very turned on by you. This is someone who, when they see you, they basically they got a little bit of a dance going downstairs, okay? Like, they can't help it. They're just like, oh, pile 2. Woo, pile 2 got me all hot and ready to go, okay? And if that makes you upset, just know that they don't mean it in a really dirty way, or they don't mean it in like that you're an object or anything like that. It's just that they're just very drawn to you. It's a very magnetic draw to you, and they're very much turned on by you. And so if you're in a relationship with this person, that's a good thing, right? Because you want to feel needed, you want to feel loved. And if you're not, it's the same thing. It feels good to feel needed. It feels good to be wanted in this way. And, you know, they really do want you that way. But they do feel like you're out of their league, and they feel lucky to know you, and that you are someone who's very grounded. And it just drives them wild, because, like, how can someone that's so laid back and chill be this attractive to me? Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and ask the dice source for pile number 2. What is it about pile number 2 that drives their person wild, this person on their mind, the person they're thinking of? What is it about pile 2 that drives them wild, source? Whoa, it didn't want to stop. Okay, so we have the 3rd house. We have Libra energy, and we have the moon. Yeah. This could be someone that you've known from childhood. Like an old friend, a high school friend, an elementary school friend, a middle school friend, someone you went to grade school with, or beginner school, I don't know, intro school. Like, I don't know what it is around the world, but you know, those first few grades that you went to in school before getting out and going to college and going to university. This is someone you've known for a long time, since you were young. This could actually be a friend of your sibling. So if you have a brother or a sister, this could be a friend of your brother and sister. And so this is like, you know, like they just really are attracted to you. It's almost like they've seen you grow up, like from being this kid into this very attractive being, this very attractive person, this very sexy person. And it's kind of like playing with their emotions, right? They have this energy of like, wow, like I shouldn't feel this way. Like it feels very secretive, very subconscious, but as they play it out in their mind, they realize that even as a kid, like even as a young individual, they were still attracted to you. It's almost like it was easier then to push it out, but it's driving them wild, because it's like they feel guilty for feeling this way about you. And it drives them wild that you are very much attached to your close relationships. Like, you adore your close relationships. You very much are honest about your close relationships. So if you're not with them, you could already have a relationship. You know, with Libra here, this being the energy of marriage and contracts and divorce, or you could be getting a divorce right now, which I'm so sorry if anybody's experiencing that. And I do pray that it works out the best in your favor, and that it comes through as you wish it does. We understand that it is a human thing to go through things like this. So, but they could be witnessing you having a very emotional time in your life right now. And it drives them wild, because like all they want to do is come in and be this protector to you. It's like make you feel better and make you feel good and make you feel like it's not the end of the world. Like, you are loved, you are wanted, like I love you, I want you, I care about you, I like you, you know, wherever it is that they are. It's going to be different for everybody. But they do want you to feel good about life, and they're seeing this energy come through of something emotional. This doesn't have to be with your relationship. This could just be a hardship that you're experiencing, you know, with work, or with your brother and sister, or with family, or with your kids, or with your parents, or maybe at school, or maybe at work. You know, it could just be some kind of hardship that you're experiencing right now when it has to do with your relationships, especially with this Libra energy coming through here, right? But they see you as someone who's super charming and peaceful and diplomatic. Like, you enjoy things to be easygoing, and it drives them wild that even when things are against you, you still show up so even-headed. Like, it's a good thing, right? Like, that's a good thing. It's like, but they're almost in the background, like telling you, pile 2, like, this is a situation where you should bare your claws, and you're just not really in that. You're not in that energy at all. You're just like, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna be fair, I'm gonna be even-minded, like I'm not gonna let this person, up me out of my path, because it's not worth it. Like, nothing that anybody does to me is worth it. But they're still kind of attached to that 3D life where it's like, when I need to, I'm gonna stand out and I'm gonna tell someone, or they may just be very direct, and they just don't understand why you aren't, and it kind of drives them wild. So this could actually be a family situation where maybe you have a husband or a wife that's like, why don't you stand up for yourself with your family? And you're just like, because it's family, like this is what my family's always done, and they're so irritated by it that they're just like, this is a time for you to stand up, and this is something that drives them wild. It doesn't make them less attracted to you. It's just like they wish they could come in and be the big bad wolf for you, but there's a situation that's going on that they don't have access to. Like, it's almost like, it feels like, so I'm hearing access denied, but it feels like it's off limits for them. It's like something that's out of their control that only you can deal with. And so this drives them wild. If this is somebody you're not in a relationship with, they're witnessing it from, it's like, on the outside looking in, right? Like, that's exactly what's going on. It's like they can only look in, and they can only see it, whether it's on social media or whether it's just through your sibling or whatever it is, and they're just like, pile two, stand up, like, say something. And you're just like, I don't feel like that's the type of person that you are. Like, you just would rather be the diplomatic one, the one that shows up. You're the judge, jury, and the prosecutioner, but you don't do it in a ruthless way. Like, you do it in a way where you collect the facts. Why did I just hear investigative journaling? So that may resonate with someone, but that just came in so loud right now. But you also may be a fact checker, right? Whether that's for your job or in life. And so it drives them wild that, like, you would rather spend all this time gathering all the facts and getting a really solid picture about what's going on so that you can move forward, when there's someone that takes immediate action. It's like, they feel this way, they're going to act this way. And you're like, you know what, I may feel this way, but instead of acting, I'd like to know what's going on here, 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 all the way around. And then it's like, now that you know the whole situation, you can make an educated mode of action, right? Like a plan moving forward. And that's always worked well for you. But something that drives them wild is that you are like that. They think they find it admirable. They really think that's a cool thing that you have. But it also irritates them to no end, because when people aren't treating you fairly, it's like they want to come in and just strangle people. What is it about pile 2 that drives this person wild? What is it about pile 2 that drives them wild, source? Whoa, okay, these are coming out. Yeah. Okay, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Excuse me. You are very different. That's the thing, like, exactly what I was saying. Like, you may get all the facts before you move forward, or you're not someone who jumps at what you feel. Like, you would rather find out, okay, is this why I'm feeling this way? Like, what's going on with why I feel this way? Is this something that I need to heal, or is this something that I need to deal with, to confront in my everyday life? Like, you just do things so differently. And it drives them wild in both good and bad ways. Like, in good ways, because they find that very attractive about you, and they see that that's why you're so successful and so abundant. But at the same time, it drives them mad, because they're like, like, pile 2's just going to take their sweet time in this, and this is something that needs to be quick. Like, you may be someone that doesn't take very quick risks. Yeah, and they feel like you self-sabotage sometimes situations that maybe you've outgrown, and that drives them wild, because they see your potential. They see how much you have to offer the world and others, and people who care about you, and people who are actually on the same level as you, or people, like them, like they're on the same level as you, and they want you to be in a place where people are surrounding you with goodwill, and people are surrounding you with love and care and support for who you are, rather than trying to sneak in this back door and try to trick you into giving them your energy, or try to trick you into what it is that they want for you. And they feel like you self-sabotage sometimes because you take a long time to assess a situation, or you may take a long time to make a decision, or you like to take things slow, right? Especially with the 7 of Coins here, we have Taurian energy here, and Taurus is a very stable, stubborn zodiac. They like things to be done a certain way, very specific, very strategic, very stable. And that's the energy that you exude when you do anything. You may have Taurus very highly dominant in your chart. And what they're saying here, you could have a Taurus moon, or you could have your 3rd house in Taurus as well. But what they're saying here is like, it drives them wild because they know how amazing you are. And it feels like you still go to people who don't appreciate you as a person. And that drives them wild because it's like this is like up a wall. I keep seeing someone run up a wall and fall down, run up a wall and fall down. That's like the type of wild that they're getting driven here. Because it's like on the other side, when they think about you, they think about how beautiful you are. They think about how strong you are. They think about how creative you are. They think about how amazing you are. They think about all these things. But when it comes to this feels very family. This feels like something that's with your family. When it comes to this situation, like there's so much stubborn energy here, and they feel like you've turned into your own worst enemy when it comes to that. And they love you. Like this is someone who's like your forever partner. Like that's the type of energy. I keep seeing a swan. Swan kept coming up while I was shuffling too. And so it's like this is someone who wants to be your forever partner, or who is your forever partner. Right? And so it's scary because it's like they keep seeing you repeat these situations. Like before I turn these over, like we have the Ace of Cups on the bottom of this deck. But look, it's like this is you, right? You're holding yourself. And it's like you have all these ready to give out to people, whether they deserve it or they don't. And it's like you're giving a part of yourself away when it's like this person feels like you should be giving that to yourself. Like you only deserve your energy. And it's like they don't even want to take your energy from you. It's like they want to see you have the best, be the best, and have everything that you need in life. And yet they see you giving away things to circumstances that are causing some sort of imbalance in your life. When they see you as a star, look, you have the star here. It's like they see you as this amazing person. But look, you have the devil and the angel on the shoulder. Right? It's like they feel like you feel guilty about leaving a certain situation because, oh, that's family, or that's blood, or that's how it's always been. And knowing that it's hard for you to leave in good conscience, like you have to really heal this. And so it drives them wild because they see your potential and they see how amazing you are, but they also see you giving to a situation that they know you have completely outgrown. Yeah, look, we have the 10 of Wands coming out here. This is definitely feeling like somebody that you're married to, or someone that you have a very close relationship with. This feels like family in a way, but they're someone who sees you just building in something that's turned rotten, right? You have these flies around this. It's like they see you keep going, and it's like you haven't realized yet that it's gone sour, because it's the center that's gone sour, not the outside. You're like, no, it looks good still on the outside. Like, you know, it's like family, we keep doing this. And there's someone in the back here. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. But it's almost like that's what they feel. They feel like no matter how they tell you, like you're still just going about your routine. You're still just going about what you do because that's how you've always done it. Like they realize that you have to see it. They realize that you have to come to the conclusion yourself because they've already tried to be the whispers in your ear. They've already tried to help you see it. Right? And you have the number 1 on the dice here, and it's like they have faith in you. That's what's coming through here. But it drives them wild because they wish they could come in and be like, hey, you know what, pile 2, like this and this is what's going on, and that you would be like, yeah, I see that too. Let me make a change. But they know that they can't do that. But with the 10 of Wands in my deck, the 10 of Wands talks about a friendship that has gone through thick and thin together, and you come out like 2 peas in a pod, like closer than ever before. And that's a just of it here. And it's like they know that no matter what's going on with this situation, that you two are going to be closer because of it, and that you two are always going to stand strong in this. And so they're just really trying to support you, but it does drive them wild. So I feel like this is something they don't tell you, or if they have told you, they've given up because there's some sort of disconnect in the communication there, okay? Yeah, look, and this came out while I was shuffling twice. Okay, they see you as the Queen of Coins. They see you as someone that is very stable. But look, you have this bull that's running out here. They also see you as someone that's very stable. You're not going to be moved until you're ready to be moved. And they respect that. And they've come to terms with that. But it drives them wild because there's some sort of situation that's going on here that they see you being your own worst enemy in. It's like giving energy to the situation. And it's like they know that you're not going to move until you're ready to move on it. You know, like anyone could tell you this is a terrible situation, but until you're ready to see it, that's it. You're just going to keep going back and doing what you feel is best because this is what you've always done. That's how things have always worked for you. But there's this stubborn energy, and it's interesting that this would come out. And we were talking about Taurus here, and Taurus is represented by the bull. Now, the Queen of Coins is actually connected with Capricorn energy. Capricorns, though, they tend to be pessimists when they're in their shadow energy. And so what I'm getting from that here is that when you deal with them, you could tend to be a pessimist afterwards. Like you could be in negative energy when you're done dealing with the situation. And that's what drives this person wild, is because they see how beautiful you are, and they see how intelligent you are, and they see how fun and loving you are, and that you're usually always this positive being. But when you get done dealing with the situation, it just puts you in a bad mood because your energy is zapped and you're tired and you're exhausted, and it feels like you're always arguing, or it feels like you're always giving too much of yourself to a situation when you should be over here being like, no, this is my energy, right? I deserve this. Look, and then you even have the Four of Cups underneath that. Like it's like this energy of like cutting yourself off from it, right? That's what this feels like, cutting yourself off from something that you've always done. It's almost like it feels like this is an addiction. Like you're addicted to being treated this way because it's all you've ever known, right? And so you don't know any better, and so you keep going back to it. And that's what drives them wild, because they're tired of seeing you so down in the dumps when you deserve to always be lifted up and supported by people. And so I feel like they do lift you up as best as they can. But when you get done dealing with situations like this, it's like they don't know what to say anymore, because it's like all I can do is listen to you, pile two. My apologies, pile two. All I can do is listen to you, listen to how you feel, listen to what you've gone through. Because I've tried to give you solutions, but you're not ready to take those solutions, right? Yeah, we have House 5, passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. This is what drives them wild. This right here. You're a passionate person. You have a lot of fun. You've embraced your inner child. You're very confident. You're very creative. And then you get around individuals that are creating this mayhem in your life, and it's like you have no time left for yourself. And it's almost like whoever this is, not your person, but the people that you're connecting with, it's almost like they know that. And so they almost like, it's like bait and hook is what I'm seeing. They're throwing out the hook with a bait on it, right? And every time you're like, okay, and you grab it and you go and you deal with it, because that's how it's always been. Right? And when you don't know any different, or when you're not ready to deal with that aspect of yourself, that's okay, right? And whoever this is, your person on your mind, they know that. And they know that one day you'll throw in the towel, but it drives them wild that you're not seeing your value and your worth right now, because they see who you are and they see everything good about you. Yeah, and they want to celebrate with you. Right? They love this. And you could be a dancer as well. You could be someone who likes to dance, to have a lot of fun. Like, it's just this energy, like you're very much in this place of connecting with your inner child, and that drives them wild, because it's like when you're away from these people, you're like an entirely different person. But then the minute you get around these people, you go into this dark place, and maybe you don't realize it. Maybe it's because you're so zapped and you're so drained, you don't realize it. And so this person shows up from this place of kindness. We have fruit bat, flying fox coming through here. And it's like this is all they can do now. They can just support you. They can just hold you. They can just love you. They can just be there. But ultimately, it's like going to have to be you that makes the decision. And it's like Also, what I'm getting from this is it drives them wild because it's like you don't see how different you are from these people. You don't see how different you are from the negative individuals. Like, you are such a loving person that it's almost like, but I can fix them as long as I show up and I be there for them. Like, one day this positivity is going to rub off on them. And that like drives them wild that it's like you don't see just how different you are. Like, they're all the bats, but here you are as this beautiful woman here, you know, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or whatever you identify with is fine. It's just this image. It's like this divine feminine energy coming through here, and yet still trying to convince a bat that it's not a bat, right? Just trying to convince these people that there's someone that they're not willing to accept, that they're not willing to embrace. And that's what really drives them wild about you. And they love you so much. They care about you so much. Like, we have house 6, establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. Like, this is it, right? They see how grounded you are in the things that you do, in the love that you give, in who you are, right? We said that with the Queen of Coins here. Very grounded individual, very down to earth. But when you get around them, the thing that goes is your health, who you are, and your daily life gets affected. And it's like almost like they feel like you're not taking practical moves for this. Like, you're not looking at the details from very judgmental place or a very strict place, I think is the best way to say it here. It's like this very strict energy. And so it breaks their heart. Like, they just wish that they could swoop in and scoop you up and just fly you to somewhere else so you never had to deal with them again. Yeah, and they want this. This is what they want. Like, we were talking about that. They feel like you're this peaceful, harmonious person, and then you get around these people, and it's like throwing stones in your beautiful, serene lake here. It's like your lake is so beautiful. It's so perfect. It's so peaceful. And then it drives them wild because it's like when you get around these people, suddenly it's like stones being thrown into this mirrored surface, and then it's like you're not sure. It's almost like you lose sight of yourself in that. Like, the image of you is so rippled from the ripples of the lake that you can't see where it's your energy versus these other people's energy. Look, and romance, number 25, lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. Was I just saying that they want to scoop you up and take you away? Like, they love you so much. Like, they just want you. They don't care how different you are. Look, she's a mermaid and he's a man. Like, this is like the mermaid, okay? The little mermaid energy here, right? But he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care that she's different. That's the thing that he loves so much about her in this. And it's like, I don't care. I want you to show up as you are. And this is what drives them wild, because it's like, in those moments when you're so lost in the negativity, they feel like they've lost you. Which, in a way, they have, but it's more like they haven't lost you. It's more like you've lost yourself. And it's like, that makes them sad, because all they want is to see you happy and dancing. Like, again, dancer energy here. Some of you may be dancers, or some of you may dance together with this person. This may be a dance partner. They might not be a love partner. This may be a dance partner that you have, right? So I take it how it resonates. That's what's coming through here on this. But let's go ahead and check out your Rebel card and see what's coming through here. Number 39. We have free from judgment and free to love. Wow, what a powerful card here. It's like finding yourself through the darkness and learning that you're worthy to be loved. Let's see what your card says out of the book here. Number 39, which is 12. And 12 is all about changing our perspective, right? Connects with the hangman energy, and it's like changing the way you see things, being comfortable in your own skin. It says, imagine a world so infused with bliss, love, and wonder that you naturally always feel as safe as a nourished, cherished baby. I can't with this already. In the arms of the universal mother. Life mothers us with kindness, and sometimes we need it to grow through challenges as well. Accepting this mothering in its gentle and fierce faces can be difficult at times, yet there are those brave enough in spirit to go forth into their life with absolute trust in the universal mother. Some are even part of her plan to help mother others so that they too can surrender fear and live more freely. That's what I was saying. It's like you're this mother, like you love them, like you're the one that's there giving them all this love. You're the one that's there that's giving them all this nurturing, and it's like it's not really your job, but you still take that on. I think I said that earlier. I don't remember where it came out, but it makes me feel like that. Like you're this, the divine feminine. That's what I was saying. The divine feminine is the mother. This oracle comes with a message for you. You are learning about mothering and being mothered. You might not do this in a typical way. It might be through childbearing, but it could also be through adopting children, raising children, or otherwise taking care of children and loving them as if they were your own. You might also be learning how to mother on a rather different scale, with working with groups and communities, or causing purposes that need your devotion, your energy, your belief in their value, and your willingness to be the wild tigress or the supportive shoulder to lean upon in order to bring those whole or worthwhile groups to life. You may also be an aspect of the universal mother on a spiritual level. Some people that do this are male, some are female, some have children and some do not. Some are healers and some work in seemingly more ordinary professions. They have a mothering aspect in common, and they love and respect life. They believe in life. They are moved by compassion and are genuinely encouraging and respectful of people. Rather than taking perverse delight when someone stumbles, they want to help. They are ordinary people with an extraordinary natural tendency to nurture life around them. And I love that this came out for you, because it's exactly how they feel about you. And that's what drives them so wild. It's not that they hate this. They don't. They love this aspect about you. But because it has a tendency to lead you into this place of giving too much of yourself to others, that drives them wild, because they see you as this beautiful star. They see you as deserving everything in the whole world, and they don't want you to have to ever be in a situation that's less than who you are, but knowing that they can't always save you from those situations, that you yourself has to save you. But this is what I have for you, Pile 2. I loved your reading. I hope that it resonates. If it does, leave me a thumbs up down below. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. This is for those of you that were drawn to this tiger's eye, or if you were drawn to this card when we drew them in the beginning. This is your reading on what is it about you that drives them wild. I just ask that you keep an open mind. This is not necessarily a sexual-based reading. However, there has been some fantasies that have come through. But just keeping that in mind, Pile 3, that they are general readings, and take what resonates and leave what does not. Also knowing that as you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel and set that notification bell, it does allow me an opportunity to intimately connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Now, I did have a channeled message for you, Pile 3, in the beginning while I was getting ready for you, is that this person, it drives you wild because they want to offer you something. You may be single, or at least they feel like you are single, and they feel like you are super, super attractive, that you are this divine feminine energy. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, this is the energy that you exude, this beautiful, nurturing, motherly, like I can build a family with this person type of energy. And they see you as someone who is extremely intuitive, psychic. You know things that you shouldn't know. And they think that that is very, very cool. Like, they really enjoy that about you. You're very unique. You're one of a kind person. You are someone that they've never ever met before. I do feel like this is a small town mind that's coming through. So it's like someone who's just never seen the big city. And to them, it drives them wild because you're like an experience of the big city. Like, you're so different from them, and you guys may be on the same kind of path together, but it's the way that you've approached it is completely different than the way that they've approached it. And it's just this beautiful place of finding common ground, and they want to offer you something. Like, it feels very new, right? This feels very in the beginning here. And so it's driving them wild because they can't really determine, how am I going to offer Pile 3 this connection? Like, how am I going to come to them and say, hey, I want to date you, I want to be with you, I want to have, good time with you, and I want to see where this goes, because it's not that they're intimidated by you. It's like they just are in this place of trying to perfect things. It's almost like it has to be perfect. I want it to be perfect because I want to leave a lasting impression on pile 3. And this is driving them wild. This is the thing that's coming through that's driving them wild at the moment. So let's go ahead and ask your dice, as always. It's going to be the first thing that we do. So sources, pile number 3. What is driving this person wild about pile number 3? What can you tell us? What information can you give us? What is driving this person wild about pile number 3, source? Okay, so we've got 12th house, Scorpio energy, and Saturn. Yeah, it's like a very spiritual connection that you have with them. Okay, and that is something that's really driving them wild, because they feel like maybe there's something that I have to sacrifice for pile 3. Like there's something that I have to leave behind. It's like they could be a very hard worker. They could be building their own legacy, and it's like they're trying to make the puzzle pieces fit, and this is driving them crazy because they've never gone this this extent before in their life to try and make sure that everything falls in place. And it's like I was saying, it's like this perfect. I need things to be perfect in order to move forward. And I feel like for you, you're just like, just ask already. Like, how are you ever going to know yes or no if you don't ask? Like, you're very laid back. But what's driving them crazy right now is this spiritual connection that they feel. Like they felt it from the moment that they met you. They felt it from the moment they saw you. It's like they really feel like you guys were meant to meet in this life. And there's like no way that they can explain it. They also are very sexually attracted to you with the Scorpio energy here. And that's driving them wild, because it's like maybe they've never felt this intense attraction before. They've never had this energy of where they met someone and in 5 minutes it was like, this is someone who they pictured their whole life with you within 5 minutes. And that's not something that they necessarily do, especially with this 12th house. This is Pisces energy. And Pisces, I know, Pisces has a tendency to daydream. And it's like they've met somebody and they'll have 5 or 6 different lives with them in a matter of minutes. And that's something that Pisces do. They're just daydreamers, and they're constantly thinking about, oh, well, what if this happened? What if that happened? What if this happened? And that's not exactly who this person is. Like, I feel like they're very grounded. They're very stable. They're very much connected to this 3D realm. And when they met you, it was almost like immediately they were lifted up into this higher vibration. And at first, they really thought it was a sexual attraction. But it's like, as time has gone by, it doesn't matter if it's been a week or if it's been 3 months or whatever it's been, however long you've known each other. It's like, as time goes by, they realize that you're in this different spiritual level than they've ever seen anybody at. It's like you study occult, you're connected to the occult. Like, you may study astrology, you may study tarot, you may study Reiki, you may study gemstones, you may study things that they've never even known existed. You could be into Wicca, you could be into religion, like very deep religion, like you could be into, like manifestation, the art of manifestation. These are things that are coming through here. And it's like, where they thought, oh man, I was the person who knew everything in my circle, and within 5 minutes of talking to you, they're like, I know nothing. I know nothing. Like, pile 3 is so much further ahead of me. And it's like not a competition, right? That's not how they're looking at it. They're just like, they feel like they have to sacrifice in order to meet you on your level. Like, it's like, in order for me to ask pile 3 out, I'm going to have to find a way to meet them at their level. And they're not realizing that there's like this growth that comes with being together. But it's driving them wild right now because they can't stop fantasizing about you on all levels. Like, what it would be to be a parent with you, what it would be to have a life with you, what it would be to experience, adventures with you, what it would be to experience sex with you, right? Like, these are all things that are coming through, but it's like nothing in a bad sense. Like, it's not to use you or abuse you. This is literally like, what would my life be like if I offered pile 3 a real stable relationship? And it feels so insignificant to them. Like, this feels like a very insignificant offer in comparison to the energy that you bring off. And this is what's driving them wild, because they're trying to figure out, how do I offer it in a way that's going to impact pile 3 just to say yes. It's almost like I need to give them my resume just so I can get the foot in the door, right? And that's what they're in this energy. It's like, how do I present my resume to them so that they actually want to sit down and talk to me, right? How do I get my foot in the door? And that's the type of energy that's coming through. And again, I don't feel like you're like that. It's just that when they met you, you made this lasting impression on them. It's almost like when your energies collided, it collided in such a way that they were not prepared for. Right? It's like immediate attraction, but attraction on all things, like attracted to your physical body, attracted to your mind, attracted to your voice, attracted to the way that you walked, attracted to the way that you laughed, attracted to the way, like it was like there wasn't one thing that they weren't attracted to. It's like they may not know you, but they feel like they know you. Like it's like you're not a stranger, even though you're strangers. This is what it is for them, and this is new for them. And they want to offer you something, but they're just in this place of not knowing how to offer it to you. And you're so intense. And they're not used to having someone in their life that's so laid back, but so intense at the same time. And it's like, they're just like, oh my gosh, like I have to find common ground with pile number 3. If I don't find common ground with them, like what is it? And they may even want to try to possess you in a way, but it's not to make you feel bad. It's just like they really are so connected to you. It's like mind, body, and soul. They want it to all meld into one, especially with this Scorpio energy. Sometimes Scorpio doesn't, when you have a sexual partner as a Scorpio, or like Scorpio moon especially, there is no difference between your bodies. Like you basically merge into each other as one, and that's the type of energy that they want here, not realizing that if they just came forward, there's an opportunity for that to grow. But they're like trying to figure, it's almost like they're trying to do step 8 before they do step 1. And they feel like you have had multiple lives together, like you're an old soul. It drives them wild, because it's like, oh, I need this with pile 3. I need this with them. I need to have this connection with them. I need to be in this life with them. And that's what's driving them wild right now. Let's get some more information out on it, Source. What else is driving pile number 3's person wild about them? Thank you. Yeah, look, they want to build something with you. They want to step outside of what society says is normal, too. You know, with my 8 of coins, it talks about releasing yourself from the bounds of conformity. And so you've already shown them that you don't conform to society. Like, maybe you guys started texting, or maybe you started talking to each other, maybe you started meeting up, and you don't do things like everyone else. Like, when you have a conversation, you talk about things that are so different from everybody else, right? It may have to go back to your spiritual background here. You know, it's like, it may just, you naturally start talking about that stuff because that's exactly who you are. And they're just like so blown by that. Like, they're just like, whoa, this is so different. Like, again, that energy of like, I really thought I was on a spiritual journey. I really thought I was taking the spiritual journey to self-love. I really thought I was doing everything I needed to do. And I really thought that I was so much higher than them. And it's like, you just stepped in, and just by being you showed them steps Z, or X, Y, and Z. And they're over here on A, B, and C. And they're like, whoa. And so it's driving them wild, because they're like trying to bridge that gap in a very short time, not realizing that there's actually no bridge to gap, because there's lessons that you can learn from each other, but they're just so enamored by you that they want to break free from this idea of it has to be like this. We have to get together. We have to find marriage. We have to, you know, all those things that everybody says you have to be. It's like they want to experience this spiritual connection with you, but they've never experienced it before. Yeah, so they're fighting themselves right now. And that's driving them wild, because they just want to rush in and tell you, oh my gosh, pile 3, you're the person for me. But this is the juggling act right here, right? This is the juggling act. They're capable of doing multiple things. Like, it's like if you're talking, they're still trying to pursue you. But when you guys aren't talking, right, then they're stuck in their head fighting with themselves, right? With the 10 of Swords coming out, this is like fighting a foe that is equally matched as you, right? Like, this is like, arguing and doing the same thing over and over again, knowing it's not going to work. This is like when you have toxic relationships that you're trying to heal, and it's like the narcissist that says, "Oh, I'm going to change," but you don't change. Like, this is what they're dealing with inside. Okay, they're not a narcissist. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, they're not wow. They're not a narcissist, but what they're dealing with are those toxic thoughts that's the narcissistic energy that we all possess, or those toxic thoughts about ourselves. Oh, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough for pile 3. Like, pile 3 is on a whole nother level. Like, they're so different. They're so beautiful. They're so sexy. They're so everything that I've never even seen from another person. It's almost like you walked out of a movie for them. And they're just starstruck. They're like, oh, pile 3. And that's what's driving them wild, because this definitely feels like someone who's very confident, someone who's bold, someone who's not afraid to take a risk. But with you, it's like they're trying to figure out, how do I get from here where I'm at to pile 3 saying yes? And it's like they don't know how to create that bridge there. And like I said, there's no bridge to create, but that's where they're stuck at. It's like, I just want to rush in, but I can't rush in. Like, see, what's stopping them from rushing into you is this 10 of Swords. It's this energy of being stuck in their own mind. This is something that they're healing. Okay, and that's why they're being driven wild right now. Like, they are mad with feelings for you. Okay, like, they are, if it's not love, it is very, very strong attraction. It is very, like, I like you more than a little. Okay, I like you a lot. A lot. I like you a lot. Okay, I can't say I love you yet because I just like you a lot. Right? Like, that's kind of where they're at. And so it's like right now, they're completing this cycle. Like, you came in and you're helping them heal this. And they're not realizing that they're doing two things at once. It's almost like with them being stuck in this action of coming towards you and trying to pursue you, at the same time, you're triggering them to make them face this. But it's like they just want to build something with you. That's all they want. They just want to build something with you. And it's like, oh my gosh, pile number 3, they're my person. They have to be my person. Like, I'm so attracted to them. I'm so enamored by them. I'm so seduced by them. And you may be like, we've never done anything like that. And it's not about that. It's like, it's just, they see you, and it's like, you know, in the movies when the girl walks in and her hair is getting blown and the guy's just sitting there staring, like, that's, when I say you walked out of a movie, that's exactly what happened in their mind. It went slow motion, your hair was blowing around your face, and you're like, what? I wasn't, we were at work, or we were, you know, no, that, to them though, to them, that whole scene played out. You were walking slow motion, your hair was blowing about you. It doesn't matter. Whatever you identify with, if you're a man, if you're a woman, it does not matter. Like, that is exactly what happened for them. And so, and now they have an in to talk to you, but it's almost like they're fighting this belief that they're not good enough. And at the same time, trying to save themselves from themselves while trying to pursue you. And please have some clarifying cards for this, source. This is so cute. I mean, it's a really cute energy pile through. This is a, oh, we got 2 cards. Okay. This is a very cute energy coming out. Like, this is like, so no love is like in the movies, right? Like, we all need to remember this. Like, no love is like in the movies, but this is that really cute, when you talk to, like, maybe your grandparents, excuse me. When you talk to your grandparents and they've been together for years and they talk about how they overcame the struggles together and they wanted to fight together and they wanted to stay together, and so they did everything that was within their power to make sure that they built foundation. And that's the type of energy that this person has, and it's driving them wild because everything up until you has been just superficial, and they never realized that until they started their own spiritual journey. And they never expected to meet someone like you in the span that they've met you. So they maybe have left a relationships not too long ago, or, you know, maybe they, again, that energy, they just started their spiritual journey, and it was like, boop, you popped up, and they were like, whoa. Like, we have the 2 of coins coming out again. Yeah, they're juggling. They're like juggling. What do I do? Like, how do I approach pile 3? How do I tell pile 3, like, I love them, I care about them, I like them a lot? Like, but do you see the interesting thing here is that her head is detached from her body. And that's where they're at. It's like fighting their head and their heart right now. They know that they want to come towards you, but they're fighting all these feelings, all these emotions going in because you don't do things the way that someone else does. Right? And then we have the 4 of coins, and it's like they see that you're mirrored souls, right? They see that you are on the same journey, right? With this, look at this mirrored house right here. But see, they feel so different. Like, this is a dice for his head while she's the princess. And it's like they see you as this beautiful princess, but they see them as someone who's just taking a chance on something they don't know if it's going to work out. Like, you know, and they're kind of tripping out right now. And it's driving them wild because they've never felt this way before. Yeah, they feel exposed. Oh, they feel so exposed right here. Right? And there's nothing they can do to blend in. Like, when they talk to you, and it's not anything that you do. Just by being you see beyond the masks because you're your authentic self, or you're working to be your most authentic self every day. And because of that, it's like no one can hide from you. It's like you look into the depths of their soul. You see them for who they are. And because of that, they feel exposed. But it's like they're still drawn by that vulnerability. They're like, whoa, no one's ever seen me. So it's like, while they're scared shitless, okay, excuse my language here, but that's, I don't know another expression for that. They're scared beyond belief, okay? They're scared. And they don't know what else to do except to approach you. And so it's like they want to take this action, but it's like that's what's holding them back right now, is this exposure. They are very attracted to you in many ways, but the more they talk to you, the more they experience your energy, the more they feel exposed, and the more that they're not afraid to be vulnerable with you, but they're afraid that down the line there's going to be some sort of rejection. And it's like they went through all this to be exposed and to be vulnerable because they cared about you so much. And then we have temperance here. Yeah, they're trying to find balance. You may resonate with one of the other piles. I'm not going to say which one, but if you were drawn to 2 piles, you'll know. Or if you're here from that pile, hello. But this is that energy of finding balance. Like they see you as someone who is above them. And we know on this journey, at least my tribe, we know nobody is above another person. We're all on the same level, no matter where we're at on our journey. We're just on different paths, right? And maybe someone hasn't experienced what I've experienced, but that's what life is, right? But they're not yet in that mindset. They just really feel like they put you on a pedestal, and they're trying to figure out, how do I come up to pile 3, and not realizing that the easiest way to connect with you is just to be authentic. And I feel like they're going to figure it out. Like, they're going to realize, oh, like, if I show up as who I am, pile 3 is going to let me in. But right now they're kind of in this triggered area where they're not able to find this balance just yet. But it is coming. They're learning how to face the darkness within. And you've actually triggered that within them. You triggered that. And it's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. You know, we're meant to help each other out. The more authentic we become, the more we trigger others. And it's like the difference between most people and this person you're thinking of is that they're willing to look at their own faults. They're willing to be open to seeing themselves. What is a pattern that I'm displaying here? But they haven't quite yet stepped into that, oh, this is something I'm dealing with. It's not because I feel this way really about pile 3. It's because I'm being triggered because I'm putting pile 3 on this pedestal and not seeing them as the human that they are, right? And that while it's sweet, that's absolutely sweet, at the same time, we can get ourselves into trouble when we do that. But they're starstruck by you. They're just like, oh, pile 3, I can't get enough. Like, but at the same time, it's like they may flood you with text messages or messages, and then all of a sudden they'll be silent for hours, and you're like, what the heck? And well, sometimes they're just busy. This may be a very consistent thing where they flood you with a whole bunch of messages, then they disappear. Then you're like, okay, and so you just go about your day and then all of a sudden you're doing your thing, and then you get flooded with a whole bunch more messages, and then they disappear, and you're like, okay. It's because when they're flooding you, it's like they're in this place of realizing that I can do whatever I want. This is something I want to manifest. I want to have this connection with pile 3. I'm worthy of this connection. And then when they go silent, that's when they're in their head, and that's when they're arguing with themselves here. And it's like they're really trying to deal with their emotional ego at this moment. And they're still, here's the thing, their attraction to you is winning. And that's what's driving them wild, because they don't really know what's going on. They have no idea what they walked into. They just know that, holy moly, I am so attracted to pile 3. Like, I can't with pile 3. I can't with you. Like, you are so amazing. You're so incredible. I just want you in my life. I have to have you in my life. But at the same time, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough for pile 3. Like, pile 3 is so amazing. Like, how is pile 3 ever going to accept me? Like, how are they ever going to be in my life? Like, I'm not good enough to have somebody like pile 3. Like, they're so beautiful. I'm so ugly. I have a terrible heart. They're so pure. Like, all these things, right? And we all know that's just that negative self-talk, and they're dealing with that, right? They're facing that. The nice thing about the Knight of Swords in my deck is that he's also talking about becoming your own hero. And so that's what's going on here, right? He, in this situation, the Knight, okay, he's figuring out how to rush in to save himself. This feels like their higher self, okay? This feels like their soul and their higher self coming in like, hey, you know what? If this is what you want, we've put this on your path so that you can manifest this. You're the one that has to take action with this Ace of Wands. This is a new beginning for you. And so that's why they're balancing out this dark and the light within them. A lot of balancing act here. You know, in my Temperance card, in my classic cards here, okay, in my tarot, not in this one, but in these, it's showing her with the 2 jars, and the water is flawlessly going up and down between the 2 jars, right? That's why we have this balancing act. And then here you got the 2 of coins coming out twice with here, and it's like, again, this juggling act, and then dealing with being able to handle multiple things all at once. Which also, this makes me think of 8, right? I feel like we have 8 here. 8 is karma. It's like they're dealing with their karmic, which is those feelings within, and that's driving them wild. Like, they've never had anybody trigger them the way that you're triggering them, but they're still in this place of like, whoa, how is pile 3 triggering me? Like, they're not really putting 2 and 2 together, right? Again, nothing you have done. It's just you being you. And then at the same time realizing that you're their abundance, and it's like this is that balancing out, right? You think of the infinity sign, what goes around comes around, and it's like they put in all this work, and now it's coming back around, and so they want that, they just want it to be perfect, and there is no such thing as perfect, right? Look, we have Libra coming out, consideration, fairness, and harmony. Yeah, they're going to find a balance between this. We have the scales balancing up here with the sun and the moon. This beautiful connection between you. Okay, this is that divine masculine, divine feminine energies that are, it's like feeling like there's a mountain to climb here, but not realizing that they're already above the mountain. They're already in the scale side of things, this balancing act. Okay, they are going to find a way to balance this out, though. Like, it's going to happen. There's going to be some sort of growth that happens, and they're going to be like, the light bulb goes on, ding, and we got that on the bottom of the deck. If you watched the shuffle in the beginning, you will know what I'm talking about, and if you didn't, that's all right. It was just a card that came out while we were shuffling. So, yeah, we have this duality coming through here with the lightning and the power, right? This card talks about there cannot be thunder without lightning. This is the contrast, and that's exactly what Temperance talks about, is contrast in life. That we have to embrace our shadow so that we can allow the light to come through, right? And that's what lightning is. It's like we embrace the shadow, that quick upset, right? And then the rumble comes afterwards, which is the change and the acceptance of it, and letting it become a part of our lives, and knowing that we're forever changed by it. It may have been scary at first, but there's no real reason to fear it. And that's what's going on right now. Look, and while I was shuffling these cards for you, this came out on the bottom. I just want to show this. The union of the hearts, a love connection that defies explanation. And that's the thing. This is, they want to offer this to you, and this is how they feel. They feel like there's something that's so beautiful here, right? There's some kind of completion here. We have 28, which is 10, that completion coming through. This came out while I was shuffling for your pile. And it's just so interesting that this would come out when it's talking about that's what they want with you, but they're just not sure that you're on similar ground. It's like they're just dealing with that internal struggle here. So they do really care about you. Like I was saying, they're not in a place yet where they can say, I love you, pile 3. But when I say, I really, 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 really like times 1,000, I really like you a lot, pile 3. Like, that's how it feels, okay? So this flipped over. We have number 19, 10 again. I cannot make this up. So we have express love through gifts. A small token of love can convey great appreciation. Again, they want to offer you something here. Okay, and this is driving them wild because they're trying to figure out, what do I offer pile 3 that is good enough for pile 3? And you're like, anything. Look, and then we have 46 with 10 again. Like, let me just be excited for a minute here, pile 3. I love this. I love this so much. Okay, we have spent quality time together. Listen and talk to each other. Like, this is all really that you want, right? We have the emotions here. It's like they're just dealing with those internal emotions here, but they are going to get led to you. This is a completion. Like, this could very well be your forever person for some, right? For some, pile 3. This could be your forever person if you've been looking for love like that. If not, then this is just your forever tribe. This is a friendship that's coming in. This is someone who just is like, whoa, pile 3, you're the person that I need in my life. Look, peace. Again, you bring a sense of peace to them where they know they have to put down the mask. They know they have to put down the act. They know they can't come in ferociously into this situation. They have to trust that they have to come as a vulnerable person. And they're not afraid to do that with you. It's just something that they've not experienced before. And so there is a little trepidation here. I mean, of course, that's with the best of us, we experience that. Look, we have house 10, structure, discipline, life, mission, accomplishments, and career. We have this beautiful energy coming in. They want to have this with you. They want to have accomplishments with you. They want to have a career that's a family career, something you build together, that structure, right? They were saying that here, like this is driving them wild because they're trying, like, it's like they see the whole of your future together. And yet, they're like, how is this going to happen? I haven't even asked them out yet. Like, we haven't even gone out yet, you know? Or if you have, it's like it's very new. It feels very new. But they realize that your meeting is written in the stars. They realize that it's something that was meant to happen. And they feel like you are a huge part of their life mission. And it's driving them wild because, again, it's like they're unraveling this energy of understanding why everything has happened the way that it's happened up until now. Fairies, earth magic, yes, they think that you are the mother of mothers here. Yeah, you might resonate with one of the other piles, but they do see you as someone that's nurturing, that's caring. They see you as being, showing up in this authentic energy. It gives them life, okay? Earth magic is a very unique card because it really talks about spending time with plants and watching them grow before your eyes as you give them love. And that's what's happening here. It's like you show up, you always give love. Like you're not really, you don't judge them. Like you're not making them feel bad about what they do or what they say. Like you just show up as you are. You keep giving love. You keep being who you are. And they're growing because of that. And it's driving them wild because that's just more attraction to you that they have. And it's like they want it to move fast. But things are very slow right now. Things are moving at a very slow pace. And they want things to be rushed, and that's that sacrificial energy here. It's like, what do I sacrifice to ensure that this happens the way that I want? We have the 10th house, which is Capricorn energy as well. Also connection with Saturn here. So that strength, structure, stability is coming through here. That's what they really want, and that's something that's driving them mad because, like, they want, like, if they don't have a mansion, that's what they want to offer you. They really are thinking in terms of physical things. And it's like, yeah, that's a nice thought and everything, but I don't feel like you're in that energy. You're in this energy of like love and be loved. Okay, like if we live in a van, let's live in a van. Like let's just love and be loved. Like that's all. Right? But they're thinking in this very masculine energy type of way where it's like, I have to provide you with all these things in the world because that's what they feel like is how they express their love. This is someone who may have a love language of giving gifts. news with number 23. Yeah, they're going to speak this out to you very soon. They're also going to express to you how much this has been driving them crazy. Okay, like it's been driving them wild. They're also going to express to you how attracted they are to you. And while you may have known that, they're going to say something that is going to be very shocking to you, where it's like, whoa, I didn't realize you felt quite like that. And you're going to be like, okay, and so just know, pile 3, when this does move forward, you're the one that sets the pace for this, and that it is okay to build slowly and steadily so that it is very solid. It has that structure that you're looking for in this material world, okay? It has nothing to do with finances. This has everything to do with, so if this is a masculine, you let the masculine drive the emotional connection. And if you're the feminine, you're the one that drives the physical connection. It has nothing to do with your gender. If you're a boy or a girl, this has everything to do with the energies that you embody the most of. Okay? So if this is a masculine coming towards you, let them drive the emotional connection, knowing that as you hold off on the physical, you allow this to really blossom into something that can last a lifetime. Look, we have Pandora's gift, number 45. Look at this. Taking down the mask, seeing the light, getting light codes here. Like, there's something that's speaking between you two that's very cosmic. Like, this is like speaking to your souls, right? From beyond. That's what this is. Let's read this card, though, and see what comes through. It says, there is a mythic woman much maligned throughout history whose name means all gifted. Pandora lives within us as our curious nature, yearning to conquer chaos, evil, and darkness with the light of knowledge. Isn't that what I was saying? That's exactly what they're doing right now. They're dealing with integrating the darkness. Okay? She is the hopeful voice of our soul that asks the question, and in doing so triggers the process that brings the answers. Sometimes it is through uncomfortable learning that we find our treasure. Pandora reminds us that the process of learning can take us to places that seem like the end of our world, and yet all is not lost. Even now, the light within you is stirring for new revelation, new life, and new adventure. Pandora is all gifted and all giving. Her presence invites you to forego your belief and judgment. Now is the time to surrender the misplaced guilt that you may have brought upon yourself or another, some terrible happening. It is time to let go of the shame-based belief in punishment. There is a belief that you deserve to be brought to task over any perceived imperfection, or that your natural human journey somehow renders you inadequate. Pandora frees the soul from such torment. This is her gift. The human journey necessarily involves learning through experience. There is no shame in your learning process. Pandora's presence is a sign of a new time, a time to swap the notion of inherent shame for the acceptance of your inherent divinity. From this moment on, how unstoppable you should become, or you shall become. What an amazing card. Like, that's exactly what I was talking about. They're integrating the darkness. They're letting go of all those negative beliefs. That's what we were talking. The shame, the guilt, the upset, the not feeling good enough. And it was like you coming into their life opened them up to the gift of their own inner light, their divinity. And so that's why they're being triggered so much right now. And it's driving them wild because, again, this is like they're an innocent bystander on your energy appearing in their life. Like, that's exactly what's driving them wild. And they can't figure it out, but they're so attracted to you. They're so connected to you that they can't stop coming forward. So what a beautiful reading. I hope that this resonates, pile 3. Yours went longer than everybody else's, but that is a-okay. If it did resonate, leave me a thumbs up down below, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. Until next time, stay human. Bye.